And the DEI is a huge problem. That's you didn't earn
Division,
it, right?
Exclusion, and Indoctrination.
Oh, come on now.
That's my acronym for it.
That's very accurate.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Facts Over Feelings, and it is day 2 at the Turning Point USA American Fest, and it has been epic with 20,000 people in attendance. The speakers are off the chain, and you guys are in for a real treat because my next guest is going to blow your mind. He's doing major things in the political arena, conservative space. We have none other than Mr. Stephen Davis here. He is a bold conservative political activist, contributor to Turning Point USA, where he can be found challenging the leftist narrative that dominates today's cultural grassroots events, conventions, high schools, college campuses, political events, you name it. This guy is there, a true patriot at heart, and he's been taking social media by storm. Stephen, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. You're awesome.
And what we like to start out every show with is let's tell the audience a little bit about your background and your unique American dream story.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, I started off, oh, goodness gracious. I always have to admit it. I was a leftist. I admit it. I was a leftist. You know, one of those racially, sensitive or try to say racist individuals who looked at white people as a problem. That's how it always goes within the black community. That's what's taught, as to say, within the black community, that white people are the problem. They're trying to hold us down and hold us back, all that sort of thing. And I believed it. I grew up believing that type of those mantras, and it wasn't until 2017, 2018 that I finally wake up to the truth. I initially wanted to go after Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters, and I was like, I'm going to do all my research and I'm going to beat them down with facts and all that sort of thing. And I ended up red pilling myself. And in the process of red pilling myself, I realized the truth, made the switch, made the change, and now here on the right side of history, trying to repair all the different things that I've broken, especially when it comes to race relations. And I focus a lot of my time on critical race theory, debating that, tearing it down, debunking that, and going to the college campuses and the high schools and doing that.
No, I love that, man. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I think there's a lot of people that were probably in the shoes that you were in right before that, and they're struggling to find their place. Because I think there's a lot of people that they feel like they're maybe missing their identity and they don't realize it. You look at the whole identity politics that so many people have been voting left, so many people have been voting Democrat for so many different years, not realizing that party doesn't exist anymore.
No. Nope.
Like, it's gone far radically to the left, that I think there's so many people that feel like they don't have a place and have a home. So what do you have to say to some of those folks to maybe start doing some of their own research where they can start to see that beneath the surface, there's a little bit more, just like you discovered?
Honestly, that's what it's all about, is doing your own research, because once you start doing that, you start opening your mind to different possibilities, different information, and things that you're not used to. As a matter of fact, you get stuck in this echo chamber, especially on the left. A lot of times you get stuck in this echo chamber of just of nonsense, of degradation, of a way to think, a way to believe, and a way to act, right? And it's about waking up out of that and doing your own due diligence when it comes to the information at hand. There's so much information on the information highway called the internet. So why don't we utilize that to better ourselves and empower ourselves? And in doing, if you do that, then guess what? You might end up with a different mentality than that which you started up.
Oh, absolutely. And I 100% agree with that. And I think part of the challenge there, too, that hopefully what we're going to see, I think we're already seeing some of it lighten up ever since Trump's been elected, right? We had legacy media that was out there crafting their own narrative, really invoking the emotions of fellow Americans across the country, creating the divide. Because what a lot of people don't even realize from a psychological psyop standpoint, when you get everybody emotionally charged, well, what does it do? Is it shuts down your frontal cortex, your critical thinking ability. And then that's where we're seeing everybody that's parroting that alternate narrative it's exactly the CNN soundbite. It's exactly the MSNBC soundbite.
Huh.
It's exactly the lovely ladies on The View that we're hearing regurgitating their sound bites rather than actually, doing the research, like you said,
Yep.
doing the research for themselves and coming up with their own information and data that they can articulate to other people.
Sure, and that's the name of the game. Is
I think, a lot of people don't realize too is there's some people I think that see it for what it is, it's Marxism, but they still go along with it, and there's some people that don't. And I think the reason why the people that go along with it is they're leveraging them and using them and giving them a taste of power and authority that was never earned before, right? So when you think about everybody, like how our country's always been, you had to earn your way to a place of authority. You had to earn your way to a place of power or wealth. And what they've been doing, if you look at Biden's cabinet, we had the first transgender admiral. We didn't go after skill. We didn't go after competency. We went after a DEI hire. And what I really think they wanted to do there is they wanted to give these individual beacons that were out there, hey, we're turning a new leaf. You too can have a position of power.
Yes.
You too can finally feel like you're heard. And it's not through the American dream where you got to work hard, you got to fight for everything, and you got to earn it. Because I believe that's the only way you truly respect it.
Yes.
But instead, it's like, hey, we're going to give it to you on an entitlement platter, and we're going to go into a new America. But what really they don't realize is that's a bold-faced lie that they're being told until the Marxists get what they want, and then the boot will drop on their throat just like everybody else, is the way Marxists ideology works.
It always works like that. So it's the same play. It's the same thing. People don't understand that. You're going to be ensconced in the same type of foolishness as everybody else. You think, same thing with Antifa. Antifa think they're in charge.
Yep.
You have no idea what you're in store for and what you're creating, the hellhole that you're creating for all of us in America. And the DEI is a huge problem. That's you didn't earn
division,
it, right?
Exclusion, and Indoctrination.
Oh, come on now.
That's my acronym for it.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
That's very accurate. Because all about unnecessary change. It's not based on merit. That's for preferred outcomes, preferred treatment for preferred people. That's what it's all about.
Oh, 100%.
It's not meritocracy.
Like, how safe do you feel getting on your Delta flight with a DEI hire? Hey, guys, we got our first trans pilot, but, he's
they fly?
Only got 500 hours in the plane.
I don't want that. That's not the America I grown up in.
No, 100%.
You earn your keep. It's all about a meritocracy. You show yourself where this is something that Booker T. Washington talked about in his book, Up From Slavery. He talked about proving yourself to be useful.
Yep.
If you show yourself to be useful, it won't be long until America uses you.
Absolutely.
And it's just that simple.
You keep providing value. You keep providing value, being that contributor to America. And that's what we need. And that's what I think patriotism is all about. A lot of people will think about, well, hey, what can I do? I'm only one person. Well, I think it's even as simple as showing up in the lens of personal excellence for those that are around you, for your spouse, your kids, the people at your job, the people at your school. Like, if you show up as the fit version of the best in shape version of yourself, you show up as the best husband, the best father, you show up as the best contributor at your organization or entrepreneur, well, people through osmosis are going to learn from you, and they're going to get lock and step with you. And we're going to create more contributors in this country rather than more people that are entitled that just take. Yes. And then back to the whole thing, the DEI, the Black Lives Matter. You look at all that. The thing I like to tell people is watch their actions, not their words. Right? Because Black Lives Matter, if Black Lives really matter, how come we erased more wealth in the African American community in the last 4 years than almost any time in our country? If Black Lives Matter, how come the media, I've never heard a blip in the past 4 years that black kids are killing each other at an epidemic rate, black on black gun crime? How come in the news we're not talking about anything when it comes to education rates that we have?
America godly again.
We're live. Absolutely. And how come they're not talking about any of our kids in the education system that are not graduating at an epidemic rate?
Come on.
So if Black Lives really matter, would we be having this sort of dialogue at the highest level? Well, that doesn't sell the narrative.
No, it doesn't.
So I think that's what really people need to look at the end of the day is actions speak louder than their words, and we're always 4 years away of losing what we value and cherish the most. And like, people just need to really wake up and realize that.
We really do. We really do. We need to get all hands on deck. The war continues on. We won a battle, sure. That's great. We can breathe for a moment, but we got to get back to work. Now we have to push more than ever American values, right? John Adams said, our second president said that without moral, I'm sorry. That's Charles Carroll. Charles Carroll said, without morals, a republic cannot subsist any length of time. They, therefore, who are decrying the Christian religion are undermining the solid foundation of morals, the best security for the duration of free government. We need to get back to morality. We need to get back to the word of God, which is the essence of our morality. We got to get people to understand that because we strayed from the word of God, this is why we're straying as a country. This is why we're faltering as a country. So we need to get back to the will and word of God if we want to get back on track.
Oh, 100%. And you look at it like a lot of the people that are out there, well, religion doesn't belong in schools. Well, look what's happened since we've taken God out of the schools. We've taken the Constitution, the Pledge of Allegiance out of a lot of our schools that are out there. Coincidentally, at the same time that we do that, which I think was the bedrock and the foundation for morality, which I would argue that there was some intentionality there.
You better believe it.
You take morality out of it, and then you look at the things that our kids are up against. When our kids are up against the things that they are, which is a lot even in the education system today, they always had God in the past to lean back on. They always had some moral grounding to lean back on. But now, when they don't have that as their foundation, it's almost like the same dichotomy as a gang. Why does a kid join a gang? Well, I don't have a father figure. I don't have somebody in my life, and I'm thirsty for that, so I'm going to find it in a gang. Well, what's happening in our school system now, if you're not the jack, you're not academically strong, you're not financially well off, maybe you're being bullied, and you don't have a community, well, where could I go? Well, I could go to this woke cult that exists in our education system now and turn to them, even though I don't believe in what they do, what they stand for, and their ideology. But now, you know what? You try to bully me, you'll be canceled. And now I can have this elevated feeling of authority, because if you think about the hurt and the pain that some of our kids are going through, and what that community is doing is trying to not cure that, but instead put them in a place of false authority that they have, in creating this divide even further and sending these kids down a different lane. As we're winding down here, some of the final questions we like to always ask at the end before we ask the final question, what does facts over feelings mean to you, is if you had the power of authority to have executive power, to wave that pen that wrapped up your legacy, what's the one and single thing that you would like to do in America to change the landscape of with that power and authority?
Immediately, the first thing I would do, and the major thing I would do, is ban abortion. Done. No more killing people.
Absolutely.
And these are people. These children are people. These children are individuals. No more of this genocide that's going when it comes to the innocent, the vulnerable and the innocent. And when it comes to a man, I always say it's the 3-4 rule. As men, we're supposed to protect, defend, sacrifice. For who? Women, children, the vulnerable, and the innocent. How much more innocent, how much more vulnerable is that of a child in a womb that's supposed to be protected by us as men and their mothers, who have a whole ecosystem within their belly to create this thing and protect this little child, and they go and kill it. They put a hit on their own kids. So gone. Day one, gone. See you later.
No, I love that. I love that. And I guess last but not least, what does facts over feelings mean to you?
Oh boy. Let's get back to the raw stats. Facts, stats, data. Let's get to that. I don't care about your subjective notions of the truth. I don't care about your relativistic notions of the truth. Your truth, my truth, their truth. No. It's the truth. So that's what it means to me. All about the facts. I don't care about your feelings. Let's get to the raw data.
There you go. I love it, brother. Thank you very much, man. It's been an awesome show. And there you go. It has been another episode of Facts Over Feelings with Steven here from Turning Point USA at America Fest. I'm out.